And now, my dear one, as you continue to rise into this stronger version of yourself, understand that the world around you will adjust to your new level of clarity. You will notice that certain situations no longer pull you in the way they once did, and certain people no longer have the hold they used to. This is not because you have become distant, but because you have become wiser. You now see the hidden intentions behind actions, the quiet motives behind words, and the true meaning behind what is left unsaid. You respond from truth, not impulse. You move from understanding, not fear. And this change within you causes those who relied on confusion to lose their influence. They cannot guide you where you already see clearly. They cannot mislead you where you already understand. They cannot test you where you are no longer vulnerable. And this shift will surprise many, because they were used to the old version of you, or the one who doubted, the one who questioned their worth, the one who tolerated behavior that did not honor their spirit. But now you are stepping into a place where your boundaries speak for you before you even open your mouth. Your energy now filters out what is not meant for you. Your intuition now warns you before something goes wrong. Your spirit now stands firm where it once trembled. You have grown from simply surviving situations to understanding them from a deeper lens. You no longer need to prove anything to anyone. You no longer chase acceptance that is built on conditions. You no longer lower your voice just to make others comfortable. Instead, you carry yourself with the grace of someone who has faced storms, learned from them, and emerged with eyes that see beyond surface behavior. You understand that some people act from fear, some from insecurity, some from old pain they have not faced, and some from the belief that power comes from control. But you now know better. You have learned that power without peace is not real power. You have learned that control without understanding collapses quickly. You have learned that influence built on fear does not last. The strength you carry now does not come from how loudly you speak or how many steps ahead you plan. It comes from your connection to truth, your inner quietness, and your ability to see through what others try to hide. You can feel when something is off without needing proof. You can sense when someone's intentions are not clean even if their words sound sweet. You can detect when someone approaches you from confusion, jealousy, fear, or ego. And yet, instead of reacting with panic or anger, you respond with calm awareness. This is your gift, my child, the ability to stay steady in a world that tries to rush you, confuse you, or push you into emotional reactions. You have learned to breathe instead of break. You have learned to observe instead of absorb. You have learned to listen without letting negativity enter your spirit. And because of this, many will be drawn to your presence, not because you try to impress them, but because your authenticity offers a kind of safety they rarely experience. You will become a place where others feel understood, not judged. A place where others feel calm, not overwhelmed. A place where others feel seen, not overlooked. But remember, my beloved, this sensitivity and insight also means you must protect your energy. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Not everyone should be allowed to speak into your spirit. Not everyone can walk beside you on the path you are stepping into. Some will be inspired by your growth, while others may feel threatened by it. Some will celebrate your rising, while others may quietly hope you fall back into old patterns they were able to influence. Some will cheer for your progress, while others will try to test it. But none of this should trouble you, because you are no longer someone who can be easily shaken by the reactions of others. You understand now that every person who enters your life plays a role, some to guide you forward, some to teach you lessons, some to reflect what you needed to outgrow, and some to remind you of your worth. And as you grow, the world around you shifts to match your new frequency. Opportunities that once felt out of reach will begin to find you. Paths that once felt blocked will open. People who speak truth and kindness will move closer. You will attract relationships that honor your heart, not drain your strength. You will attract conversations that expand your mind, not confuse your spirit. You will attract experiences that align with the wisdom you have gained. And as this happens, you will realize that nothing you lost was truly meant for you, and nothing that left your life was needed for your calling, and nothing that broke you stayed broken. You transformed every wound into wisdom. My dear one, you are stepping into a chapter where your peace is your protection, your insight is your guide, and your presence itself is a message. You are walking into a future shaped not by fear but by understanding, not by pressure but by purpose, not by confusion but by clarity. And the more you trust this journey, the more everything will align exactly as it should. And now, my cherished one, as you continue to rise into this new strength, understand that your growth will not only bring clarity to your own path but also expose the intentions of those around you with greater ease. You will begin to notice small things you once ignored, signs you once missed, and patterns you once excused. This is not because people suddenly changed, but because your awareness has expanded. You see what others try to hide. You sense truth before it is spoken. You feel the shift in energy even when nothing appears different on the outside. This sensitivity is not a burden, it is a shield that protects your spirit from what is not aligned with you. You are becoming someone who no longer falls into the same emotional traps because you now recognize them before they even approach. You can sense manipulation in a soft tone, dishonesty in a smile, and jealousy in polite words. But instead of reacting with fear or anger, you quietly distance yourself, knowing that protecting your peace is more important than explaining your decisions. You are learning that silence can be an answer, distance can be a boundary, and calmness can be a form of power. And this level of understanding separates you from those who still operate through insecurity and confusion. Many will not immediately understand your calm decisions, but later they will realize they were necessary. You are moving from living by reactions to living by intention. You act because you choose to, not because you are pressured. You walk away because it protects your spirit, not because you are afraid. You speak clearly because your truth no longer trembles. And the more you stand in this confidence, the more life brings people and experiences that match your new strength. You will attract souls who value honesty over games, growth over gossip, connection over control, and depth over emptiness. These people will feel familiar even when you first meet them, as if your spirit recognizes theirs before your mind does. They will bring peace, not confusion. They will bring support, not demands. They will bring truth, not hidden motives. And these connections will feel different from anything you have known before, because they will not require you to shrink or pretend. You will be understood without having to explain your heart 1,000 times. You will be respected without begging for respect. You will be valued without performing for approval. At the same time, some connections will fade naturally, not because you are cruel, but because your spirit no longer resonates with their energy. You will not need conflict or arguments to separate. The distance will happen quietly, as you rise and certain people remain unchanged. This is growth, peaceful, gentle, and steady. You must allow these shifts to happen without fear. You are not losing anything. You are making space for the life you were meant to live. My beloved, you are entering a season where the things that once drained you will now motivate you to rise higher. Every challenge you faced has sharpened your intuition. Every disappointment has purified your intentions. Every heartbreak has opened your spirit to deeper wisdom. You are no longer guided by temporary emotions but by lasting understanding. This is why you no longer overreact to small things. This is why you no longer argue about what does not matter. This is why you no longer chase explanations from people who cannot communicate with honesty. You simply observe, understand, and move forward. The old version of you needed closure. The new version of you creates your own. The old version of you needed reassurance. The new version of you trusts your inner knowing. The old version of you felt guilty for choosing peace. The new version of you protects your energy with confidence. And this transformation will continue, for you are just beginning to see what you are capable of. You will discover new strengths, new ideas, new clarity, and new paths that were once hidden. Doors you never imagined will open. People you never expected will support you. Opportunities you thought were far away will move closer. All because you chose to grow, even in moments where staying the same would have been easier. Remember, my child, people who once overlooked your worth will begin to recognize it, not because you changed for them, but because you finally changed for yourself. You stepped into your truth, and truth always shines. You stepped into your power, and power always rises. You stepped into your peace, and peace always reveals what does not belong. You are becoming someone who not only survives difficulty but transforms it into wisdom. Someone who not only feels deeply but understands deeply. Someone who not only walks through life but walks with purpose. This is your journey now, steady, strong, aligned, and guided by the quiet strength within you that nothing and no one can take away. My beloved one, I am speaking to you in this exact moment not by accident but because this time was chosen for you alone. I know the quiet pressure you carry, the small way something has tried to unsettle your heart, and the hidden struggles that tried to dim your inner light. I have seen the moments when people tried to shake your truth or disturb your peace, thinking they could shape your path. There are forces, my dear one, unseen but active, that do not want you to hear what I am about to share. They grow in confusion and wish to block the clear understanding that will completely stop their plans. They do not want you to realize the deeper way of living that turns their tricks into lessons they cannot escape. If you feel a soft stirring in your chest or a sudden calm resting in your spirit, that is my presence confirming this message to you. Do not look away, my precious one, because this word will shift everything inside you. What I reveal now will protect your peace and turn every challenge into a moment where truth rises stronger. Your presence will become a calm mirror that makes those who try to manipulate face the unrest inside themselves. Get ready to receive the wisdom that makes you untouchable not by fighting, but by holding a stillness that changes reality around you. This is your time to understand true strength, and it begins right here. You are not meant to walk through this alone, my dear one. Stay close to people who speak life, who remind you of what I promise when your mind forgets. And you, in return, will become a steady voice for others. As you move forward, walk with hope and with a clear sense of purpose. My grace brings responsibility. It grows best in hearts willing to give, lift others, and stay humble. This is not only your moment to rise but to help others rise with you. As my presence settles in your life, my child, take this truth deeply. When someone tries to shake the calm inside you, they often expose their own hidden pain. This is not about overpowering someone but about how truth always comes forward. Many act without much thought, my dear one, but think of what happens when someone tries to bend your inner strength, hoping they can push your feelings, change your thoughts, or shape your will as if you were something to control. These tactics work on those without grounding, but not on a spirit centered on me. When you walk close to me, your understanding is deeper than surface thoughts. You see the real heart of situations. You do not react only to words, you respond to true intention. This is why those who try to influence quietly cannot succeed. They come with tricks, but you come with peace. They attempt to unsettle your silence, but you turn their unrest into a chance for reflection. You are not trying to dominate, you are simply guiding gently. And here is a deep truth: while they plan in secret, you simply rest in my presence. You do more than disrupt their plans, you show a better way to live. What they meant as manipulation becomes a moment of clarity. They arrive thinking they can shake your spirit, they leave wondering why they feel pushed to examine their own behavior, feel regret, and correct old mistakes. This is what happens when those who try to control me are soul-rooted in my wisdom. Their efforts stop being an attack and become a mirror. They may want to overpower, but you bring calm that reaches their deepest places. Now, my child, think deeply, because this changes how you view every past struggle. Those who tried to understand you ended up seeing their own reflection. Their attempt stopped before they could take hold. Manipulators depend on your doubt to keep their influence. They expect you to seek approval, explain yourself too much, or try to prove your value. But when they met you, nothing worked. You stayed steady. You held your truth. Every tactic showed them parts of themselves they were not ready to face. You became a reflection of their own habits. They tried to pull apart your inner being, but instead they saw their own imbalance. Your quiet confidence did not annoy them, it shook them. In your calm understanding, their own inner noise grew loud. They began to realize that their need to control came from the discomfort they had avoided for years. The more they tried to figure you out, the more they discovered themselves. It is unsettling for those who gain influence through confusion to meet someone who thrives in clarity. They realized they could not move someone whose peace does not depend on the opinions of others. You became a clear space where their false fronts could not survive. They wanted to find your weakness, but you revealed theirs. Every time they tried to plant doubt, you answered with quiet certainty that needed no defense. True clarity does not fight, it simply shines. That is what helped them see. When attempts to control meet a soul aware of my presence, truth rises to the surface. Those who tried to unravel you only uncovered their own hidden fears. They thought they were guiding events, but they exposed their own weight. It is easy to sway those who depend on outside approval, but not someone at peace within. They tried to challenge your thoughts but left with a clearer view of their own troubled minds. What began as a strategic move for them became a moment of awakening because of you. You did not harm them, my child. You offered them a chance to see themselves in ways they had avoided for years. This is true strength. Their actions came from old wounds while your reactions came from a place of wholeness. This is why their efforts could not disturb your soul. They acted from pain, fear, and the need to appear strong. This is not wisdom, it is survival dressed as intelligence. They mistook reaction for insight until they met you, someone who no longer requires chaos to feel alive. You did not enter their emotional battle because you did not carry the same turmoil. They tried to pull you into their storm, but your stillness held firm. Their efforts to unsettle you failed. You were not trying to win, you were keeping your peace. This confused them because they expected conflict. They rely on chaos to feel powerful. You gave them nothing to feed on. Your calm was not a show, it was real strength. They were used to loud confidence, not quiet power. You moved with a calm certainty they could not shake. Even while they tried to unsettle you, you saw the pain behind their actions. You looked beyond their behavior and saw their unhealed wounds. You knew they were not truly harmful, but hurting in ways they did not understand. That is the source of your steady calm. You did not reflect their anger, you softened it. You did not carry their burdens, you revealed the truth. When a peaceful soul meets a troubled one, the peaceful soul becomes the anchor. You help them see that stillness is not weakness, it is deep wisdom. You showed them that strength based on fear collapses in front of a heart already free. Slowly they saw that their struggle was not with you but with the gap between who they pretend to be and who they truly are. They tried to lead the moment, but you simply existed with confidence, and everything changed. The desire to control others comes from inner fear, the belief that shaping someone else can ease one's own unrest. True understanding does not chase safety, it is safety. They tried to pressure you with confusion and quiet manipulation, but you did not engage. You did not seek their approval or try to win. My dear one, understand this as you keep moving forward, your peace is not an accident, and your calm is not weakness. It is the result of the growth you never stopped making even when you felt tired, even when you felt unseen, even when people misunderstood the quiet strength you carried inside your heart. Many could not understand how you remained steady when situations should have broken you, but they did not know the depth of the foundation you stand on. They judged what they could see, but they never understood what held you together behind the scenes. You grew in silence, you healed in moments no one noticed, and you chose peace at times when anger could have easily taken over. This is why your presence carries power that does not need volume. This is why your words land deeply even when spoken softly. Those who tried to disturb your balance did not understand that your calm came from a place no one could touch. They thought you were quiet because you were unsure, but you were quiet because you were grounded. They thought you were gentle because you were weak, but you were gentle because you were strong enough not to become what hurt you. You learned that sometimes silence speaks more truth than arguments. Sometimes holding yourself steady speaks louder than shouting ever could. And this, my beloved, is what confused those who tried to push you off center. They expected you to fight loudly, but you healed quietly. They expected you to panic, but you breathed deeply. They expected you to explain yourself, but you understood that truth does not beg to be understood. They expected you to need them, but they discovered you had roots far deeper than they imagined. Your strength came from a place untouched by their opinions. Even when they tried to test you, your spirit stayed aligned. Even when they tried to challenge you, you responded with clarity. Even when they hoped to shake your worth, you remained whole. And slowly they realized that nothing they did could move someone who no longer depends on external approval. My child, know this, the peace you carry now is not temporary. It is the result of the many moments you chose patience over anger, kindness over revenge, and self-respect over pleasing others. Every time you refuse to react in fear, you step deeper into your true power. Every time you chose understanding instead of impulsive reaction, you rose higher. Every time you walked away from what was not meant for you, you walked closer to what is. This is why your presence feels different now. You are becoming someone who no longer breaks in the same places. Someone who no longer falls for the same tricks. Someone who no longer entertains what drains your spirit. Those who once tested you have begun to sense this change, even if they do not admit it. They can feel that you are no longer easy to influence. They can feel that your boundaries are stronger. They can feel that you have grown in ways they did not expect. What once troubled you no longer has the same power. What once controlled your emotions now loses its grip. What once made you doubt yourself now reveals how far you've come. You are stepping into a version of yourself that carries quiet wisdom, soft strength, and deep understanding. And this growth does not only transform you, it transforms the way people interact with you. Those who carry confusion will feel exposed around your clarity. Those who carry chaos will feel unsettled around your calm. Those who carry hidden intentions will feel transparent around your insight. Not because you judge them, but because your presence shows them what they are afraid to see in themselves. This is why some people leave your life suddenly, they cannot stand the reflection you bring. This is why some people return, they feel safe with the truth you carry. This is why some people observe you quietly, they cannot understand you, but they cannot ignore you either. My beloved, your journey has shaped you into someone who walks through life with a grace that cannot be faked. You have learned to trust your inner guidance even when others doubted it. You have learned to protect your energy even when others demanded more than you could give. You have learned to stay open-hearted without letting others misuse your kindness. And now, you are ready to step into a new chapter with clearer eyes, stronger intuition, and a heart that knows its worth. You are no longer who you were before the storms you faced. You are wiser, softer, braver, more awake. And those who try to disturb you now will face a version of you they never expected. Not a version that fights back with anger, but a version that holds such deep peace that their strategies crumble in its presence. You are not easily shaken anymore. You are not easily fooled anymore. You are not easily pulled away from your path anymore. You have become someone who leads by example, simply by staying true to your spirit. And as you continue forward, know this truth deeply: nothing formed against clarity can survive near it. Nothing built on lies can stand before truth. Nothing born from manipulation can thrive near someone anchored in wisdom. Your calm is your shield. Your insight is your strength. Your presence is your message. And your journey is only beginning to unfold into the greatness it was always meant to hold.